I was 60 days into my job search before working with ECU. I had not been in a job search for quite some time. I had worked with one company for many, many years, and unfortunately, due to layoffs, I was thrown into the job search environment, and I really lacked the skills for today's job search and today's job market. So I kind of went into it blindly thinking, oh, well, people post jobs on job boards like crazy. I will just go to those job boards. I will put my fancy resume in front of them and they will love me and I'll get interviews. Well, I probably applied for 200 or 300 jobs in that 60-day period. And I think I got one response from that process. And that led to an interview with a recruiter, not a hiring manager, but a recruiter. And ultimately, I never interviewed with a hiring manager for that role. So 60 days, 300 applications, one phone screen. And it's at that point that I knew something was fundamentally wrong with my process, fundamentally wrong with, recruitment and hiring, or simply, I don't know how it works anymore. So that's kind of where I was and said, hey, Jeff, you need to consider something different because what you're doing today is not working. Well, again, I think it was 60 days. I had this phone screen that I had got through my process. When I got that phone screen, I said to myself that if this does not materialize into my next job, then I'm going to do something different. Most valuable, I think it's the collective tool set that ECU brings to you to use. First and foremost, it starts with building a online profile for you, which includes a very professional and polished LinkedIn profile. And that's supported nicely and followed up with a very professional and action-based resume. My resume talked about what the duties in my roles were. I led 700 people, or I led a call center, or I led an operations group. And ECU said, well, nobody wants to hear what you did. They want to hear what you accomplished. And that was like, the light bulb went off. I'm like, oh, that makes sense. So change the resume to focus less on what I was doing, but more on what I was accomplishing. So that was really valuable. And then you package that with the whole focus on networking in a big, big way and facilitating that networking through their automation process so that I stopped spending hours applying online to random job boards and spent more time, getting my automation set up and targeting companies, targeting people, targeting CEOs and hiring managers and reaching out to them directly. Direct outreach was another big piece of it. And then when you do make contact with CEOs and hiring managers through your direct outreach, having the tools to learn and know how to talk to them in, very succinct sound bites and not ramble on and talk about all of these things that you can end up spending 20 minutes of a 30-minute call. And you realize I really haven't told them how powerful I am as an employee. And so ECU teaches you get 1.5 minutes to talk about who you are. The rest of the 15 minutes are about what you accomplish. When you package all of those things together with the interview prep, I really walked away with a more powerful toolkit and a lot more confidence in my conversations with direct outreach, with recruiters, and ultimately with hiring managers. I would probably still be in a job search today had I not invested in ECU. ECU changed my approach completely. It really put a spotlight on the flaws of my own efforts. If your job search is not where you want it to be, I would recommend ECU. And if you invest in ECU, invest fully. Invest in the program, work their program hard, and their program will work.